Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more details videos. Love, aces, and arguments. Coco Gauff and Jalen Sera's unforgettable date night. It was a balmy summer evening in Miami, where the ocean breeze carried with it the scents of salt and citrus, and the sky blushed with hues of gold and peach. The city buzzed below, yet high above in a rooftop restaurant nestled atop the Setai Hotel. Things were a little quieter, more intimate. Coco Gauff, the tennis prodigy whose serve could send shockwaves across stadiums, was sitting across from her boyfriend, Jalen Sera. Jalen wasn't a sports celebrity, at least, not yet, a rising culinary influencer with a penchant for obscure international cuisine. He had an Instagram feed that made mouths water and a personality that was as flavorful as the dishes he reviewed. Tonight was one of those rare evenings where both Coco and Jalen had no obligations. No tournaments, no press, no cameras, well, almost no cameras, just each other. The table was elegantly set under a trellis of vines and fairy lights. They sipped on mocktails. Coco's was a mango lime spritz, Jalen's a spicy ginger and cucumber cooler. Laughter came easily between them. They shared stories from their week. Coco about her relentless training sessions ahead of the US Open. Jalen about a disastrous attempt to recreate Icelandic fermented shark for a new YouTube video. And then came the menu. It was a fusion place. Mediterranean Asian with Caribbean influences. The kind of place that played with flavor the way Coco played with angles and spin. They agreed on starters. Crispy calamari with tamarind glaze, and a charred peach and burrata salad. No issues there. But then came the entree decision. I'm definitely getting the lamb tagine, Jalen declared, pointing at the menu like a man who'd spotted treasure. It's got preserved lemon, harissa chickpeas, everything I love. Coco's brow arched slightly, eyes scanning the menu. I was thinking we could share the jackfruit biryani. You know I've been trying to cut back on meat before tournaments. Jalen looked up, surprised. Biryani? Babe, jackfruit isn't real biryani. It's biryani adjacent. Coco laughed. It is too real biryani. You just don't like the idea of fruit pretending to be meat. It's not pretending. I don't know. It's just weird, Jalen said with a grin, trying to mask the mock offense in his voice. You would serve strawberries and call them steak. She leaned in, teasing. Strawberries don't pull apart like slow-cooked lamb. Touché, he said, dramatically bowing his head. Still, a culinary tension had set in. Not a storm, more of a drizzle. Jalen's food opinions were strong. Coco's convictions, forged from years of discipline and focus, were even stronger. I just think, she said, stirring her drink, that if we're sharing, we should both be comfortable with the choice. But if we both pick something we don't want, then neither of us is happy. That's compromise, not a meal, Jalen replied with a smirk. Oh, now you're philosophical. I took a bite of Nietzsche with my breakfast. Coco rolled her eyes. All right, how about this? We each get what we want, but we agree to taste each other's dishes and give honest reviews. Winner gets dessert of their choice. Challenge accepted, Jalen said, tapping the table. But if you lose, no eye rolling when I order the saffron gelato with candied bacon. You and your weird food obsessions, Coco said, laughing. The food arrived like an award ceremony. First the appetizers, which were inhaled with shared nods and mms. Then came the entrees, delivered with flourish. Coco's jackfruit biryani came in a clay pot, steam rising in fragrant clouds of clove, cinnamon, and fried onion. Jalen's lamb tagine looked like it had emerged from a slow-cooked dream. Tender meat nestled in a spice sauce that glistened under flickering candlelight. For a few minutes, there was silence. Just the sounds of forks clinking and the occasional hum of appreciation. Until Coco took a bite of Jalen's dish. Oh, okay, that's annoyingly good, she admitted. He grinned. Told you. Want to switch? Not a chance. Try mine. Jalen hesitated but took a spoonful of the biryani. He chewed thoughtfully. Not bad. Complex flavors. A little sweet. Not my thing, but not offensive. Coco smirked. So, I win. He shook his head. We agreed on an honest review. That was honest. I don't love it. All right, she said, wiping her mouth. Then let's compromise on dessert. Gelato and churros, he offered. Deal. They leaned back, full and content, the small disagreement already a warm memory. As dessert arrived, saffron gelato paired with chocolate-dusted churros, the topic shifted from food to the future. They talked about travel, how Coco wanted to explore Morocco, where the lamb tagine had originated, and how Jalen wanted to visit Kerala to taste authentic biryani. They dreamed of Tokyo, Cape Town, Barcelona, places where food and sport and love could collide. You know, Coco said, looking at Jalen, I think the real secret to a great relationship is exactly what we did tonight, arguing over food. No, she said with a smile, respecting each other's tastes, even when they're a little off. He raised his spoon. To odd tastes and love. To biryani-adjacent dishes, she added. They clinked spoons and dove into dessert, the city lights shimmering around them like the glow of a championship trophy. Epilogue. 1 week later. Jalen posted a reel on Instagram titled Biryani vs. Tagine, a romantic food feud, featuring slow-motion shots of the rooftop meal, dramatic close-ups of their dishes, and a playful montage of their mock argument, complete with Coco making an exaggerated yuck face at the lamb and Jalen dramatically collapsing after tasting jackfruit. The reel went viral. Fans flooded the comments. Coco's biryani wins. No contest. Jalen, Tagine forever. Bro. Can we get a couple's cooking show already? Coco, in response, reposted the reel with a caption. We agree to disagree, but dessert always wins. Hashtag food love match. And somewhere in Miami, over another meal, another laugh, and maybe another disagreement, their story continued. Flavorful, fiery, and full of love. It was one of those rare days off from the relentless grind of the tennis circuit for Coco Gauff. The sky over Miami was bruised with shades of gold and coral, the city humming beneath the early evening heat. After months of traveling from court to court, press to press, all she wanted was a normal moment. Something sweet, unscripted, and simple. Jalen Sera, the quietly confident Duke University psychology student turned aspiring sports therapist, had just flown in to surprise her. They had been friends for years, an almost accidental connection from a shared charity event in Atlanta when they were both still just kids with dreams. Now, those dreams were growing, sometimes together, sometimes apart, but always orbiting one another like twin satellites. Tonight was meant to be a celebration of her latest tournament win, of Jalen acing his finals, and of the fact that they'd managed to carve time out of their chaotic schedules for each other. Coco had picked the spot, a quaint Italian bistro tucked into the art-drenched Wynwood neighborhood, known for its candlelit tables, red brick walls, and hand-rolled pasta. Jalen, ever the gentleman, showed up in a crisp navy button-down, and her favorite sneakers, the ones she once told him made him look like a young Denzel. They sat outside beneath strands of Edison lights that swung lazily in the breeze, sipping sparkling water and laughing over inside jokes. As the waiter approached to take their order, Coco's eyes danced with excitement. I've been dreaming of the truffle tagliatelle all week, she said, practically bouncing in her seat. Jalen smiled. You and your obsession with truffles. She shot him a mock glare. Don't come for my palate, Sera. He chuckled. No judgment, just, I don't know how you can eat something that smells like a gym sock had a baby with wet earth. Coco gasped. Excuse me? I'm just saying, he grinned. They bury that stuff underground for a reason. Because it's gourmet. Because even nature's like, let's keep this hidden. Their waiter, clearly trying not to laugh, cleared his throat and asked politely, So, one truffle tagliatelle, and for you, sir. I'll have the marinara patty with grilled chicken. No truffles within a 50-foot radius. Please. Coco crossed her arms. You are disrespecting Italian culture right now. Pretty sure Italian culture also includes respecting people's taste buds, Jalen teased. She narrowed her eyes but couldn't stop smiling. I can't believe this is what breaks us. Truffles. I told you from the beginning. I'm team tomato sauce. You said you were team Gauff. Same thing. Most days, he said smoothly. Their playful banter became the perfect seasoning for the rest of the evening. Between bites, they talked about everything from her dream of opening a tennis academy for underprivileged kids to his thesis on mental resilience in young athletes. Coco told him